Hi, everybody. I hope that you can hear me okay. Something is wrong with the audio on my video camera for my computer, and Rob has my video camera at his house, so I'm just going to have to make do with my computer camera for right now. I had a long talk with Rob tonight, and we were talking about life in general and talking about this pregnancy and talking about our finances and talking about people in our lives and the future and our relationship, and we just basically had a really long, good talk. And I realized that here I am, I'm 22 weeks with twins, and I have barely recorded anything about it, and I know that I'm going to want to look back because who knows if we're going to have any more after this. And I'm going to want to see what I was feeling and what I looked like and what our thoughts were on everything. So we kind of decided together that we're going to start doing a lot of videos and recording our life, and so what better time to start than right now? And I'm looking like a hot mess because I need to wash my hair, and I don't have any makeup on, and I look exhausted, and I'm in my pajamas. But whatever works. When you're pregnant, you don't care. So anyway, yeah, today I just want to talk a little bit about the pregnancy so far, because that's, like, of course, major. And you like my shirt, by the way? My sister got it for me. What's kicking? The babies are kicking a lot. They've been kicking all day today. Sorry, I have heartburn really bad too, which is another glorious pregnancy symptom that any pregnant lady will be able to tell you is horrible. Unless you're one of those ladies who don't get any symptoms during pregnancy, and in that case, I hate you. So, yes, 20, yeah, wishful thinking, 22 weeks on Monday. Let's see, I'll just do a quick rundown on, we found out that we were pregnant, it must have been a week after my 31st birthday, which was the week of the 14th of May. And it was kind of funny because I was only a couple of days late on my period, and I was on birth control, and I had always been for years and years, but I just had a really weird feeling this time, and I had taken antibiotics for a toothache earlier that month, and I just had kind of intuition kind of thing, and I was on the phone with my best friend, Bambi, and she was like, you should probably go get a test. And so I immediately started having a panic attack, which, if anyone knows me very well, pretty much anything throws me into a panic attack that's anything out of the ordinary. And so I rushed over to Walgreens and grabbed myself a test, and I came back and I was like, Bambi, I gotta let you go because I gotta pee on the stick. And she's like, well, hurry up and call me back. And so I did, and boom, it was positive. Like, those things tell you have to wait, like, what, 2 or 3 minutes or something? Well, no. It was like instant pee on the stick plus sign. No mistaking. So I did 2 of them right in a row because I was like, no, yeah, right, whatever. And, but yeah, so they were both, like, highly positive. And I just, like, I sat on my bed for a second, and I was like, oh my god. But what can you do? The deed is done. And so I called Bambi back, and she screamed and hollered and was so excited. And I was scared and excited, and scared and excited at the same time. And it just so happened that at the very moment that I found out my sister was at the knocking on my front door. She had gotten off work and come by to, I don't know, I think she was bringing me something or needed to tell me something. And she came to the door. I came to the door and answered it, and I had this look on my face, like, and I think she was like, she thought something was really wrong. And she's like, what? And I said, come here, you have to look at this. And I was leading her back to my bedroom so I could show her the stick that I peed on. And she's like, what? Was it a spider? What is it? I don't want to see it. And I was like, no, just look. And so I showed her, and she was like, oh my God, she was excited, and she was like, oh my God. So yeah, it was kind of exciting that I had my very two best girlfriends in the world to share that moment with. But at that moment I was kind of sad because I wanted Rob to know, and he was at work, and he's been working crazy late hours, and I mean, at the time he was working until like 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and I was like, crap, I'm not going to be able to tell him for a long time. How am I going to go all day long? I mean, I don't want to tell him on the phone, and because it's not as personal. And so I was just debating and freaking out. How am I going to tell him? How am I going to wait till 2 or 1 o'clock in the morning to tell him this? I just couldn't hold it in. And I couldn't, like, you know, chat with him on his lunch break and act like everything was totally normal, because I just can't play stuff like that off. I'm terrible. And so I think I left him a message during the day, and I was like, Rob, you need to call me back because there's something I need to talk to you about, and it's kind of important. And he called me back, and there was somebody sitting right next to him, and it was just really awkward. And I think his brother was with him that day, and I don't know. He finally called me while I was driving home, and I was acting really strange, and he's like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, well, I don't know, I think I have to tell you something. And he's like, what, are you pregnant? And I was like, what the hell, you just ruined it. I mean, he said it jokingly, but still, he ruined the surprise. And I was like, well, yeah, kinda. And but anyway, he was like really excited. He was happy. I was happy that he was happy. I think that was the scariest part of the day, was worrying about telling him about it. And so anyway, everything has been history since then. Things went really good. In the beginning, I mean, I was healthy, but for the entire first trimester, I was sick as a dog. I mean, sick. I mean, I probably only threw up like 5 times. But the nausea that you get is like nothing I would ever wish upon even my worst enemy. It was like hell on earth. It's just bad. It makes you want to curl up in a hole and die. I can't even describe it. It lasted pretty much from about a week, the week that I found out. So I must have been like 4 weeks or 5 weeks, if that, until 10.5 weeks. So a month and a half, I just felt like complete shit. It was really bad. I could barely work, and I work from home. I mean, just looking at a computer screen made me want to hurl. Just getting up out of the bed made me want to hurl. Breathing air made me want to hurl. It was just horrific, and I felt really kind of insecure about it because I felt like nobody really believed me that I was so sick. They were like, oh, pregnant women do it all the time. They get up and go to work. They, whatever. Of course, there's all these women who are like, oh, yeah, I was a prize fighter while I was pregnant and having morning sickness. Oh, yeah, I climbed all the stairs up to the Empire State Building when I was pregnant. I'm like, whatever. I hate all of you. Whatever. Unless you've had extreme morning sickness, then you just don't know. There's no way to describe it unless you've experienced it. It's like having a hangover, the stomach flu, and any sort of, like, I don't know, malaria or something, all at the same time. It's bad. So anyway, that's enough about that. I don't even want to relive it. I have good days and bad days now. where the morning sickness, and I say morning sickness loosely because it's really 24-hour all day sickness. And I'm sorry, I get out of breath sometimes. But yeah, so everything was good until about 14 weeks. It took me a long time to get into my first doctor's appointment because of insurance reasons and whatnot. But I'm trying to hurry up because this video is going to be really long, trying to compress all of these months into one video. But I want to get everybody up to speed and everything. But at 14 weeks, I went in and had my first ultrasound, and Rob and I were there together. And I actually saw a nurse practitioner, and she started doing the ultrasound. And there's two different ultrasounds you can get. One is vaginal, and one is what you see on the movies, like when they do it on your belly. And she first did the vaginal one because when they're 14 weeks, they're like itty bitty, really small, and it's easier to see them that way. But as she was doing it, she was like, she got this weird look on her face and was like, I don't know. And Rob and I mean, there was a lot of side eye going on in there, in that doctor's office room. And we were kind of looking at each other like, is there something wrong? What's going on? And so she goes and gets she quickly, squirts the stuff on my belly, and she's like doing the belly ultrasound. And she's like, as soon as she put it on there, we could see two little babies swimming around, just doing their little dances in there. Two of them. It was unmistakable. She's like, oh, you've got twins. And Rob and I just looked at each other like, oh my God. And I busted out laughing on the table. I was like, seriously? Seriously? I mean, I so wish that we had it videotaped. It was like a moment we'll never ever forget. I mean, granted, multiple births run in my family, but the whole time I'm pregnant, I'm thinking there's just one little baby in there swimming away, and the first time we get to see inside of there at what's going on, there's two of them. So I was kind of, I kind of laughed, and I was pretty calm. I get anxious before doctor's appointments really bad, but it's like the instant that I saw those two babies, I was just calm. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it was all a whirlwind, checking out of the doctor because we're trying to wrap our brains around these two babies that are coming. And poor Rob, he started having a panic attack while we're sitting in the truck. I mean, I don't know if it was a panic attack, but he was just having like a moment of, oh my God, clarity. I can't believe we're having two of these things. And so we were just kind of like talking each other down in the truck. And we sat there probably for a half hour, and we both called our parents, our moms, and both of our moms were like, you better not be messing with me. We were like, no, we wouldn't joke about this, trust me. So that's how we found out we were having two babies in there. So yeah, at about 20 weeks, we went for the anatomy scan, and everything is fine. The babies are growing exactly the way that they're supposed to. We're having no complications whatsoever. I have all of my ultrasound pictures, and I might show them on videos, I might not. I might just post them to my website or Facebook or whatever. But they're growing perfectly fine. They were almost a pound each at 20 weeks. So that's amazing to think that I have 2 pounds of baby in there already. And it was really nice because Rob's mom got to come up and see, and my mom was there, and my mom's sister Tamara. And so we were all there, and I was just mainly relieved that everything was growing fine, and they were healthy, and I'm healthy, and there's nothing going wrong. And we found out that they're for sure a boy and a girl, and so it's going to be Cash Robert and Lily Kathleen. Our two little babies are already named. We had names picked out for a really long time. And so now here I am. That was about 2 weeks ago. And so here I am now at 22 weeks. And there's only 2 more weeks left to go until, which is my next goal, is at 24 weeks there's viability possible. And I'll breathe this big sigh of relief at 24 weeks because there's like an 80%, I think, something, I don't know, a higher chance of viability if I were to have the babies after 24 weeks. So that's kind of like a milestone that you want to reach. But, yeah, so that's where I am right now. And I know this video is like really long. It's like 15 minutes long, but I had a lot to talk about. And my next videos probably won't be this long, and I'm going to try to include Rob in as many as I can. And hopefully I'll be able to put on a little makeup and look like a human being next time, and I'll have a better video camera. But here, I'll show you my belly. This is at almost 22 weeks on Monday. So there's the babies right there. I'm like a stick with a bump. There's the bump. Take a good look at it. My belly button, as you can see, is starting to pop out. Fun stuff. So there you go. My first video, and hopefully the first of many. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.